like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion, like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say were wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now. I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me.
Hello, I'm Cassia Faye Hayden. Welcome to my channel. Today for you guys, I have some of my accommodations for my autism, my ADHD, and my physical disabilities. Where is that? Oh, there it is. Okay. My list is kind of long, so I'm not going to do the whole list today. And I did some of the list last month. Let's see, where did I leave off? I know I made a note where I left off. Go all the way down. Just gonna find where I left off and go from there. I started at the bottom and worked my way up. I believe that was the last one. Pretty sure. All right, that was. Okay. Okay, so apparently I stopped at number 100, going up from the bottom of the list. So my accommodations for autism, ADHD, and my physical disabilities, starting at number 100, working my way back up the list. I don't shave my legs or my parts in the winter. That's a little bit weird, but and some people think gross, but I'm already cold. Why make myself more cold? But my body hair grows so fine that I don't really need to. So it's not like I've got like man hair by the time spring comes along. Yeah, even if I go all winter without shaving at all, like there's pretty much nothing there. So it's no big deal. It's just, it's just colder if I shave in the winter. So that's number 100. Weird one to start with, but I'm going by the list. 99, over explaining and asking follow-up questions to answer people properly. I have to do that because if I don't ask enough questions, then I don't have enough information to properly answer the question I'm being asked. So in order to properly answer the question, I have to ask questions to help me better understand the question. Now, what gets really frustrating is when I ask the follow-up questions to help me understand the question, and instead of answering my questions, they ask this original question either just again exactly how they originally asked it, or they ask it in a different way that doesn't answer my questions at all. It just is basically a repeat of the same question they originally asked. And then I repeat my questions, and then it becomes an hour of us going back and forth, them asking the question, me asking my follow-up questions, and them getting frustrated with me and me getting frustrated with them because they're not grasping the concept that I need more information in order to properly answer the question. Can't answer the question if I don't know the details involved. So, because every question has multiple answers based on the criteria that it comes with. So that's an autism thing. That's not an ADHD or a physical disability thing. That's because of my autism. I need to have the full idea of what is entailed in that question in order to answer the question properly. So, yeah. Um, but the shaving thing is more of a physical disability plus autism sensory issue, because I get really cold in the winter, and when I get cold, because of my fibromyalgia, my body doesn't function. um the cold seeps all the way down to my bones, and then it takes hours, and I mean hours, to warm up again, and the whole time I'm in severe pain and can't move. So, um not putting myself in a position where I'm physically incapable of moving, or in such severe agony that I can't move, um just to shave my legs seems kind of pointless to me. So, yeah. Um, Number 98, needing help doing paperwork and taxes, and sometimes making important calls to get important things done and taken care of. Um, I struggle with paperwork because I can't sit in an office and have somebody like basically, timing me to fill it out. Have a time limit of when I have to have it filled out, like before I get into the waiting room, into the the exam room, or whatever. By the time I have to leave, that's very difficult for me. It's nearly impossible for me to answer questions, even if they're about me, even if I know all of the answers, um, if I'm if I have a time limit. If I'm sitting down at home and I'm filling it out, the answers come to me easily because they're about me. If I have a time limit, if I'm sitting in a doctor's office or wherever, and I have a time limit of how much time I have to get this done, um, I'm either going to fill it out wrong because I can't think, or it's not going to get filled out completely at all. I might not even be able to get past the first page. And if there's anyone in the waiting room making noise at all the whole time that I'm filling the paperwork out, it's not going to get done at all because I can't focus. I can't think. I can't process thought at all. I can't even control my emotional functions and my mental functions, or my physical functions, and I'm about ready to scream at them to shut the hell up so I can focus on my paperwork. So doing paperwork at home is much easier. I can't do taxes at all, and even asking me to do a home heating credit is too difficult for me. Asking me how much I spent on heat over the last winter, is like asking me to do Sam's ballistics for him, knowing that math and I don't get along. Asking me to do my own taxes or come up with information for my own taxes is pretty much impossible for me. It doesn't matter how much paperwork I save, I can't do it myself. I can't do it. And it's hard for me even to find the paperwork so somebody else can do it. So, I mean, it's just impossible for me. Calls, doing phone calls that are important on my own. One, I can't shut up when I'm on the phone. I can't, no matter how much I want to, no matter how much I want it done, no matter how much I want the whole thing to be done and over with and get off the phone so I can do anything else I want to do that day, or just to be able to watch TV and recover from being on the phone. I can't shut up. Another problem with me handling things on the phone is people don't understand me. Don't always understand me, like with the asking questions thing. And there's other things that make it hard for people to understand me. Like, I'm very straightforward with how I talk. That's an autism thing. When I talk, I say what I mean. The words that I say mean what I'm saying. For most of the world, most people who are not autistic, when they say a word, it means maybe 100 different things that I don't understand. So when I say a specific word, they think I mean something else. When they say a specific word, I think they mean the exact same thing that the word means, but apparently they mean something else. So handling things on the phone because of that turns out to be a problem also. And then I continuously have to repeat myself for hours because people are not paying attention or listening. And then there's people who don't barely speak English at all, which gets incredibly frustrating to me because, like, it doesn't matter how clear I speak or how much I repeat myself, they're not going to understand English words if they don't understand English words. And then, there's the problems with people assuming that I'm stupid. So they try to bully me on the phone, or yell at me, or talk down to me, or, refuse to help me because they think I'm stupid. So there's a lot of reasons why it's just easier to have someone else take care of things, important things on the phone for me, so I don't have to deal with the nightmare of bullshit that I deal with, because I'm autistic. So yeah. So there's that. And then there is 97, needing to do paperwork on paper at home for plenty of time to get it done, being expected to do it in an office where I'm already uncomfortable because of people around me unable to remember the answers to my own health history because of sensory overwhelm, and the time limit of waiting for the nurse to call me back. It never gets done in time. We just discussed that. Also, DHS paperwork or any paperwork at all. Any paperwork. It doesn't matter what it is. It either has to be handled completely by someone else if it's too difficult for me, or if it's my personal history, like my medicines or whatever, that has to be done at home. DHS paperwork, asking for help through other agencies. I either need help with it or I need to do it at home, and sometimes both. Sometimes I need to take it over to Sam's house and have him help me with it, and that's not really something he does usually. I have to pester him to get him to help me with things like that, because he struggles too. So like I have to really need the help and really mention it about 100 times before he um, agrees to help me with it himself. So um, yeah, usually it's if it's something that I can do on my own, as long as it's at home, I take care of it at home on my own. But you know, some things either I need help with or they just don't get done. So it is what it is. If you guys are wondering what my shirt is, it's like kitty that looks kind of freaked out, and it says Snap Cat instead of Snapchat, but Snapcat on it. Um, I don't really like Snapchat, but I love anything that's got kitties on it. And I mean, it doesn't say Snapchat; it does say Snapcat. So, like the cat's about ready to lose its shit. Yeah. So I think it's yeah, it's an orange kitty. Like like oatmeal cream pie who's asleep over here. Are you sleeping? You wanna say hi to the camera? Hmm? Hmm? Oh, it's a little oatmeal cream pie. This sweet little oatmeal cream pie. Gosh. Oh, yep, there's your mommy. Alright. And then um 96, removing people permanently from my life who lie, try to manipulate or steal from me. I don't have time, patience, health, or money to deal with it if it's true. Um, I don't have the time to deal with people trying to screw with me or screw me over. I've got my own shit to deal with. I've got my own life to live. I don't have the patience for it because I'm autistic. You push me, I snap. After a while, I just can't function anymore. So I either just cut people out of my life, or I stop functioning, or I flip the fuck out on them. Excuse my language, but you know, can't really blame me when people are messing with me like that. Can't really blame me for flipping out on them or swearing about it, right? I mean, who wants to be screwed with like that? Who thinks it's okay to be screwed with or screw with people like that? It's not okay. If you do it to somebody else that's doing it to you, which I wouldn't because it's not cool. But if you were to do it to them, they would find it completely unacceptable. And yet they expect you to think it's acceptable when they do it to you. That's not how the world works. Yeah. So this is why my only family anymore, other than Sam, is my cats. Because my cats aren't going to steal from me. They're not going to lie to me. They're not going to try to well, they might try to manipulate me for food and attention, but you know, I want to give them food and attention anyway. They might try to manipulate me with their cuteness to try to steal my food, but I let them lick my dishes when I'm done eating anyway. And if it's a cardboard dish, who cares? It's going in the trash afterwards. If it's a plate, you know, I can use a little bit extra soap to get the germs off. To be honest, cats' mouths are cleaner than human mouths. Scientifically speaking, it's been scientifically proven. Cats' mouths are cleaner than human mouths. Now, their paws, I do not want on my dishes. Just saying. Gross. Yeah. I mean, they're very clean, but my house is not. So anywhere that they walk, they're tracking everything that's on the floor in my house. So as bad as my house is, until it can get fixed up and cleaned up, I don't want my cats walking on my dishes. Just saying. But that will be getting done. I have actually somebody coming tomorrow to fix my plumbing. So fix my plumbing, and then you know, we'll go from there from everything else that needs to be done. But I'd like to be able to wash my laundry and my dishes and take showers. Again, to me, that's like the highest priority. After that, I need the roof fixed so we can fix the wiring, because we can't fix the wiring if my ceiling is peeing all over my house on the new wiring. Doesn't sound too safe to me. I figure it's probably a better idea to fix the roof first and then get to the wiring, so we don't ruin the new wiring and then have to redo it and pay for it again. Sam's got this idea that we need to do the wiring first before the roof, because he doesn't get it that it's gonna leak on the new wiring if we don't fix the roof first. I think he's thinking priorities. I do need my electric, and he's right, I do need my electric. But, and the concept of my house burning down with me in it kind of scares the shit out of me. Or more things going out when I can't really afford for more things to go out. He's right, those are problems that need to be fixed. But before I can do the wiring, realistically, I don't want my new wiring to get ruined because of my roof. So, roof first, and then wiring. He's a smart guy. It's just, he doesn't come into my house, so he doesn't know what's wrong, and he doesn't know how bad things are and what needs done first. So it's not that he doesn't know better. It's just he hasn't been in here in a very long time, so he doesn't know all the spots in the house that the roof is leaking, or that most of it, like with how bad the leaking is, putting in new wiring is just going to end up being an issue where we're gonna have to fix the roof anyway and then put new wiring in again. So he just doesn't know, because he's not in my house. If he was in here, he'd understand that, because he'd see it. But yeah, because he doesn't live here too, he doesn't understand how bad the roof leaking is. Yeah. But anyway, I don't have the health, money, I don't have the time, patience, health, or money to deal with it, so I'm not going to. I don't care who it is. If I don't matter enough to them to not treat me like that, then they don't matter enough to me to stay in my life. Simple as that. Boundaries. Right? Because, again, nobody deserves to be treated that way. Nobody wants to be treated that way. And I will not put up with being treated that way. I don't care that my mom is my mom, my stepdad is my stepdad, my brother is my brother. I love them. I don't hate them. There's no hate in my heart for them. But I can't let them ruin my life because they want to screw with me. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to put up with it. I'm going to live my life and make my life better and have a livable life. Whether they want to sabotage my life or not. If they're going to try to sabotage my life, or anything about my life, or anything about my happiness, and screw with me and manipulate me and all the things that they do, I'm not going to put up with it, and I'm just not going to have them in my life. And anybody connected to them that turns around and thinks that I'm the bad guy because I stood up for myself, because they're getting a completely different story from my family, where I'm the bad guy and I abuse them. My stepdad flat out told me, when he was trying to tell me that he was going to fix my house, which was a flat out lie that he's been telling me for the last 2+ years now, that it is abusive for me towards him. It is abusive for me to tell my mom that I'm afraid of my house, that I'm afraid it's going to kill me, and I need it fixed. Apparently, telling the truth is abusive to my mother, not to him, but to my mother, is abusive towards him. Okay. Asking for help when you know you need it is not abuse. Telling me I'm a whore because I was molested and telling everybody in my family that I like being butt raped and having penis in my mouth, and that I'm a streetwalker, and if you see me on a corner, I must want to get paid for sex. That is abuse. That's abuse. Asking for help when you need it, not abuse. There's a difference there. I don't go around telling people that, you know, someone is, you know, a slut or whatever because they've been through something traumatic. All I did was ask for help that I needed. Which one of that is abuse? But yeah, I'm not going to put up with being treated that way. I'm not going to put up with my mom trying to manipulate me to get my income, or belittle me every chance she gets, or my stepdad to belittle me every chance he gets, or my brother to try to steal from me, and lie to me endlessly, and belittle me when he doesn't get his way, when he's trying to get something out of me and I tell him no, and then he starts belittling me because I told him no. I'm not going to put up with that. It's abuse, and no one deserves that. So yeah. But anyway, moving on. 95. It doesn't matter how much someone pushes me to try something I know I will not like. I will not take food I don't want. I used to, and then just left it on my plate uneaten and wasted to make the people who pushed it on me happy. But since discovering my autism, I will not do it anymore. It's a waste of food to take what I know I won't eat just because someone wants me to try it, which goes into how I pretty much starved on Christmas until dropped off at night at Sam's house after having warned my mom that I'm allergic to ham and could not have it and needed a meat that I could safely eat. My mother lied to me and told me there would be other meat served. There was not. And then my stepdad mocked me when I told him she had promised there would be a meat I could eat served because I'm allergic to ham. So I couldn't really eat anything the whole time I was there, my stomach growling and feeling like it was eating itself because it's expected to not eat anything the whole day before coming because of the holiday feast. This is dangerous when you have diabetes, which I do. Thankfully, Sam made sure I was fed something substantial when I was dropped off at his house. Not the first time my parents insisted I come over for a meal and then only had food they knew I'm allergic to. Between that and other lies, I won't ever be going back. All right. Eating the same foods repetitively. Now, this is a positive one. This is not one where my family are assholes and I'm bitching about it. And I'm not going to put up with it. This is a positive one. Eating the same foods repetitively. Many autistics do this. We can't get enough of it until we've had enough. And sometimes that enough point never comes for certain foods, like Taco Boy. with burritos and Slurpees. Um, ta- Taco Boy has the best wet burritos I have ever had. Um, I mean, I could eat them every single day, nonstop, all day long, every day, forever, and never get tired of them. I'm not kidding. I love Taco Boy that much. I love their wet burritos that much. I love them so much that sometime last year when I had a lot of money to mess with, which doesn't happen very often, um, I bought $70 worth of Taco Boy, um, in save for later containers. Um, you know, uh, the the foam containers, uh, to the takeout things. So I literally bought $70 worth of wet burritos and then ate them every day for a week. Now, there was enough wet burritos to actually last for 2 weeks, but they're so good that I ate them all in a week. So, yeah. And I've got an obsession with Slurpees. So, if I could afford to go buy Slurpees every day and drink them endlessly all day, every day, I would. Um, but instead, I'm probably going to have to buy like a Slurpee making machine at home and make them at home. But yeah, when I can afford to buy one at some point, I'll probably buy one because I love them that much. I would drink them every day, except for in winter. Um, I wouldn't drink them every day in winter, but I like them so much I would still drink them even in winter, freezing my ass off. And then I'd drink a whole bunch of coffee and cocoa to warm back up because I love them that much. And then I said I could live off of them. I really could. I really, really could. I could live off of Taco Boy's wet burritos and Slurpees big time. Um, okay, and then there's 93 incontinence pads. I have a lot of bladder problems. I do. Um, so I have to be wearing and have on me incontinence pads at all times. I also keep a bed pad on my bed in case of accidents in bed. I prefer to make it to the bathroom because, duh, why wouldn't you want to make it to the bathroom? But there are people who would rather sit and wait for the accident to happen instead of just going to the bathroom. I know there are people like that. I've seen it. And I've been accused of it. My mom has, knowing that I have these medical conditions, because she has one of them herself. She was born with it. I was born with it. And I was also diagnosed when I was a child with it. So she knew. She knew what it was, and she still spent my entire life belittling me for it, knowing what it was, accusing me of holding it on purpose and waiting until it just happened, and knowing I had to pee but not trying to go, and peeing myself on purpose. She spent my whole life belittling me like this, knowing that I had no control. Because there would be either times where I just couldn't make it to the bathroom, where I would get up, I would run to the bathroom. I still do this. Run to the bathroom and don't make it in time. Or I just get my pants slightly down and it starts coming out before my pants are down, and then have to change my pants because I didn't fully make it. I made it to the bathroom, but I didn't make it onto the toilet. Or the worst one, when there's absolutely no warning whatsoever, and then all of a sudden you have to pee and you can't move, because if you move, you will pee all over yourself, and there's nothing stopping it. And even trying not to move to try to get it to like go away so you can get to the bathroom, even waiting sometimes doesn't work. Sometimes it just happens anyway, and sometimes you can just not move and wait for it to go away and then try to run to the bathroom. But most of the time, when it's sudden like that, there's nothing you can do. It just out everywhere, flood. Um, and it's really embarrassing if this happens in public, because I mean, you're the person who just peed yourself in public. And when you're in school and this happens frequently, you become the pissy girl. So, this is the most embarrassing thing that can possibly happen to you um, in public, other than accidentally crap yourself, but I've done that too. Um, it is what it is. Um, I mean, I'm not going to say thankfully it's the other way around with my bowels, because that's not a good thing either. But usually when I can go to the bathroom, it's either I'm so constipated that I can't go for months, or it's liquid. There usually is no in between. But with the pee, it's horrible. There's nothing I can do except for have a bathroom in every room, which is impossible because you can't have a bathroom in every room. You just can't. Or, even have a porta potty by my on my porch, which no, I am not going to down my pants on the porch trying to get into my house the minute I get to my door trying to put my key in. I am not going to pee in front of people outside. No. But for some reason, my bladder thinks when I put my key in the door, it is time to pee right that second, right now. And I don't always make it to opening my door. Sometimes before my door even gets opened, it already happens. Obviously, the goal is to run down the hall and go get to the bathroom, but sometimes I don't even make it opening the door. I mean, it's a problem. I have overactive bladder and bladder reflux disease, which are both really hard to deal with on their own. Bladder reflux disease, your bladder doesn't ever fully empty, so you could have accidents all the time. An overactive bladder, you don't get a warning that you have to pee, it just happens. So, between my bladder filling up faster than it should because it never fully empties, and then causing accidents, and there being no warning sensor, that I have to go because of the overactive bladder, um, it's a problem. One of these problems is embarrassing and bad enough. Having both, I mean, yeah, it's a problem. Um, I mean, if I could like have a bathroom on both sides of the house, that would make things easier. Um, if I could have a porta potty, um, in every room, that that would help too. Um, but you know, and this is yet another reason why I don't like having company, because I can't even leave people alone in my house long enough um, to go to the bathroom, even when I know I have to go, because I can't trust people in my home not to steal my stuff. So I have to watch them the whole time they're here and pretend that I'm trying to have conversation, which I don't want to have conversation because I don't want people in my home. So, yeah. Um, and it's not just because I don't trust things, it's because I don't feel comfortable with people in my home. It's my safe space. I don't feel safe with people in my home. I don't feel comfortable with people in my home. The only person I feel comfortable with having in my home is the one person that can't be here until the house is fixed up. because he'll get sick if he does. All right. So but sometimes I just don't have the time to get there. So rather than running out of clean pants and having to mop several times a day, which is a problem when you have these incontinence issues and you're not wearing a pad, if eventually you're going to end up running out of clean pants and having to mop everywhere all the time. And if you're sitting, you're going to have to shampoo your upholstery. And if it's something like this, change the sheets and shampoo your upholstery, pretty much screwed. Yeah. Carpet cleaning the couch because you had an accident and didn't wear a pad, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. A pad helps me get to the bathroom without a mess, even if I don't make it on time, saving my pants and the floor from being peed on. Just switch out for a fresh pad and use a wipe to clean myself up, and good to go, unless my bladder is holding too much. But it's always good to have a spare pair of pants, a mop, and a shower at the ready at all times if possible, just in case. It's another reason why I want my water fixed, because sometimes I have bigger accidents than a pad can hold and automatically need a shower. And I have a yeast allergy, which is another problem with these bladder problems, because with a yeast allergy, anything that causes yeast, I'm going to get hives from. So if you have bladder problems like this, you're going to get urine all over you, or at least all over your crotch and butt area. And if it's not cleaned up properly in time, you're going to get yeast allergy issues from the pee. And then, obviously it's also going to smell because it's pee and it's gross. So then I get hives from the yeast from the pee. So so if I have a big accident that goes past a pad and is on my legs and I can't shower, one, I feel uncomfortable because I'm covered in pee. And, all I can do is change my pants. Two, what if I don't have any clean pants left because I can't wash my laundry? Three, even if I change my pants, I can still feel pee on me and it's itchy and uncomfortable and gross. Four, I know I smell and it's disgusting and I don't want it. And five, hives from the yeast from the pee. Need my water fixed so I can shower when I need to. Yeah. So glad that's getting done tomorrow. Washing hands and showering, 92. Washing hands and showering as often and whenever I need to. Obviously, between the yeast allergy and my bladder problems and my occasional bowel problems, I need to shower more often than most. As often as I possibly need to. I also, and there's also the fact that, you'll want to be able to shower more than once a week. In general, even if you don't have a yeast allergy, even if you don't have bladder or bowel problems, you still want to shower at least every other day. At least every other day. And you want to be able to have clean clothes that you can change into also. Because you don't want to wear the same clothes every day, because that too is a hygiene issue. It doesn't matter if you shower every other day or even every day. If you're putting back on dirty clothes because you can't wash your clothes, you're not helping anything. So, again, another reason to have my water fixed, to be able to wash my laundry again. Sam's been washing some of it, but I can't expect him to wash everything. It's not fair. I go over there to spend time with him, not for him to be my laundromat and my ability to take a shower. I go over there because I want time with him. So, you know, and then, clean dishes. We don't want to eat off of dirty dishes because that's just not healthy. But right now, unfortunately, that is the situation that I'm in. So, yeah, clean water would be very nice. I can't wait until tomorrow. I can't wait until tomorrow when that gets done because I will be able to clean my clothes, clean myself, clean my dishes. But anyway, washing my hands. I have this compulsion about washing my hands. If I get anything on my hands at all, I feel it on my whole body. Like, it's an autism thing. I know it's got to be an autism thing. I cannot stand the feel of gunk on my hands. Whatever it is, I can't stand the feel of anything on my hands, even if it's water. When I wash my hands, I have to dry every drop of water off of me before I can be done washing my hands. Even water on my hands, as a sensory issue, is so uncomfortable. I can't function and I can't think. So washing my hands compulsively is a need. I need to do it. I need to wash my hands constantly. So I use a lot of lotion because I have to wash my hands a lot. So it's a need for me. For most people, they just want to be clean. For me, I can't stand the feel of things on my hands. I can't. I can't do it. All right. 91. I do not and will not answer my door unless the person contacts me about coming over and is given my approval first. So if you contact me to come over and I tell you it's not a good time and you show up anyway, I will not answer my door because I already warned you I don't want you there. So don't show up if I tell you not to. If you didn't even bother to tell me you were coming over, I will not answer the door because I think it's pretty clear that if you didn't tell me you're coming, I don't want you there. So, and when I hear a knock at the door, even if I hadn't been attacked and broken into multiple times in my life, as an autistic, the sound of someone, and been harassed by cops multiple times, even if I hadn't been through any of that, being autistic, the sound of someone knocking on my door when I am not expecting company gives me a panic attack. It terrifies me. I can't function. So I don't like people knocking on my door unless I know who they are, why they're there, what they want, and how to deal with them. So I won't answer the door if someone knocks, unless I look out the window and I see it's like one of those church people at my door trying to give me a box of food. That's a little bit different because they can't tell you that they're coming beforehand because they don't, they don't alert people. They just show up and be like, hey, we have some food for you. It's very nice that they do that. But if I see someone at my door and I don't know who they are, likelihood is I'm not going to answer my door, or I'm going to answer my door and be like, what the fuck do you want? And be as rude as possible. And then talk their ear off to try to convince them to leave and make them think that I'm the person that can never shut up, which I am. So they never come back. Unfortunately, this has not been working for the DTE guy that comes 5 times a year to knock on my door. Um, every time I tell him I do not have DTE, I have absolutely no intention of getting DTE. I do not run my home on DTE. DTE tried to screw me over by trying to charge me for the former resident's bill, which was over $1,000, and refused to transfer the bill into my name without me paying it. So they spent 2 plus years, well, not 2 plus years, but 2 years, threatening to shut off my power, and not have it turned back on, if I don't pay that bill. I kept telling them, go ahead, shut it off. I want you to shut it off so I can turn it back on in my name. They spent 2 years harassing me about it, which by that time I was like, I am never using DTE ever. And then they shut it off in the middle of winter. The middle of winter. So never using DTE again. So this guy showing up at my door 5 times a year when I have continuously told him I have no intention of ever using DTE and to stop showing up at my door, kind of feels like harassment. It kind of makes me want to press charges for trespassing, because I think I've been pretty clear for the last 2 years, 5 times a year coming to my door telling him I don't want him here. So I think I was pretty clear about it. But yeah, I've got random people I don't know knocking on my door. I've got cops knocking on my doors asking me about people I've never even heard of, and demanding to come in because they need to search my house to find people that I've never heard of, because telling them I've never heard of them and I live here alone with my cats apparently isn't enough of a reason for them to get the hell off my property. They are not allowed to come into your home without a warrant, especially if the person that they're looking for is someone you've already made clear you've never heard of. So, cops showing up at my door to harass me because of my neighbors. My neighbors showing up at my door trying to get into my house because they want to do shit to me because I want them to leave me alone. In the middle of the night when it's dark out, or during the day, just to find some reason to come in my house, or catching them climbing through my windows, catching them peeping in my windows, finding garbage all over outside my windows because they're standing there peeping in my windows, eating while they're watching me through my windows. It's creepy. And they wonder why I don't want them at my house or in my yard or anywhere near me or have any communication with me, because they're creepy and they won't leave me alone. When you do creepy shit and someone tells you to leave them alone, and then you become more creepy because they tell you to leave them alone, it's called stalking. And it's a pretty good indication and pretty good reason why this person would never want anything to do with you ever again, and to continue harassment because they want to be left alone because you're acting like a creepy fucker, doesn't exactly make anyone want anything to do with you, because it's creepy fucking behavior. Nobody is going to want to be harassed more by the person who is harassing you because you want to be left alone. You can't build a friendship on harassment, okay? and and harassing people because they want to be left alone because you started harassing them. mentally unstable behavior, just mentally unstable altogether. Um, but anyway, and on top of it, like I said, I have been stalked, I have been broken into, I have been sexually assaulted, I have been physically assaulted, I've been harassed by police, all of the shit I've been through. If you don't even count that stuff, I'm still autistic on top of it. Just hearing a knock puts me in a panic attack, even if I hadn't been through all that. Knowing that I've been through all of that, having someone knock on my door, knowing what I've been through, makes the panic attack even worse. So I'm thinking when someone knocks on my door, oh my God, is it somebody innocent that's like maybe offering to um, give me a box of food? Or somebody who's trying to harass me to buy freaking energy that I don't want? Or is it somebody trying to break into my home to attack me? Or a cop at my door harassing me, basically threatening to arrest me because um, they're looking for someone I've never met, or my neighbor sent them to my door to harass me. Um, yeah, I don't feel safe when people knock on my door unannounced. Now, if I look out the door, out my window, and I see Sam at my door, that's different. I know him. I know I'm safe with him. He is always welcome at my house. In fact, I really wish he knew what he did with his key so he could just come right in whenever he wants, because it would be so much easier for me. Once the house is safe enough for him to come in, anyway. But yeah, I gotta know someone's coming before they show up, and I gotta approve of them coming before they show up, because if I didn't approve for you to come, I don't feel safe with you being there, even if you told me you were coming. Because if I made it clear I don't want you here, then you don't have a right to be here. But anyway, um, I have had a lot of stalkers and break ins. People have pushed their way into my home and attacked me. I have even had problems with police showing up and harassing me and refusing to leave until I jump through crazy, unacceptable hoops to get them to leave. So, even for police, if someone knocks unannounced, I will not answer the door and will pretend I'm not home, go about what I'm doing, or simply yell through the closed door that they are trespassing. I will not open the door and they need to leave. Even a police officer is legally required to respect this boundary. Unless you sound like you're in danger from yourself or someone else, if you tell them through the door they are trespassing, you won't open your door and they need to leave. They cannot break in and they have to leave. And if an officer comes to your door and says it's police, start recording immediately. This is important. Start recording immediately, because if you tell them calmly they are trespassing, you won't open your door and they need to leave, and proceed to break in, that's illegal. They cannot break in if you tell them they're trespassing and they need to leave. I have had this happen where cops have broken into my home after being told that they were trespassing and needed to leave. They cannot do this, but they can lie. They can go to court and lie and say that they thought that you were in danger, or that you were endangering yourself or endangering somebody else. If they lie and say that, then they can get away with it, unless you record them. If you are recording them, if you have video going and you have all of this on record, they can't pull that, and they will then lose their jobs for breaking into your home, because even cops are not allowed to trespass unless they have probable cause. And probable cause means that someone has to be in danger, or endangering someone else, or endangering themselves, in order to have reason to trespass or break into your home. They have no legal right on your property, especially if you tell them they are trespassing and need to leave, without that probable cause. Remember this, and always film interactions. Always. They will try to tell you you can't film. They will try to take your phone away from you so you can't film. But they are not allowed to do that. They are not allowed to take your phone. They are not allowed to touch you. They are not allowed to touch your phone if you are not being violent. So if you're recording and you're telling them to leave your home, if you're telling them to leave your property, and they break in and try to manhandle you because you're filming, and try to manhandle you in general, they will lose their job, and you can press charges, and they'll go to jail for what they did to you, because that is assault. So it's breaking and entering and assault, even if the police do it. But you have to be recording. You have to be recording. Yeah. The officer will lose their job and owe you restitution for the court fees, mental damages, and damages they caused to your home. Also, if you've never been through any of the things I have with autism, someone knocking, blah, 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 panic attack, you don't know who it is, it could be anyone, and socializing in general is difficult, scary, and even painful for many autistics. Okay. 90. We are at an hour now. So I'm going to cut it off here, and I'm going to get to 90 another day. Dude, that is not what I was trying to do. All right. All right. Now I'm going to save. Automatic save. All right. So we're already at an hour here. So I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to pick up where I left off next month with the next video. I know these are kind of aggressive, but I've been through a lot of crap, and I live in a very unsafe area. And not just the town. The town itself is unsafe to begin with, and then on top of it, I live in the most unsafe park in the county. So, and I've been through a lot of crap before moving here. So, yeah, boundaries are a very important thing to me. And being able to function properly and live normally and safely, and be able to just live my life, and live like any normal person. I mean, I have my needs and my boundaries and whatnot, but everybody just wants to live their life, right? I just want to live my life in peace. I want to be able to have a pretty happy and functional and stable life, and calm and peaceful. And that's why I've got to cut my family out of my life, and I've got to fix the house up, and why I don't really have friends, and why I don't let people into my home or on my property, and why I don't really leave my house unless I have to, or spending time with Sam. I just want to live my life. I just want to live calm, quiet, peaceful life. Um, where I can just be happy and enjoy it, and enjoy, my existence. I don't want to be put back into panic attacks, um, or have my parents, um, or my family in general, you know, reverse all of the progress I've made with my PTSD from them. Um, I just want to live a happy, stable life. That's all I want. So, you know, these, and on top of it, like I said, I do have autism, I do have ADHD, and I do have physical disabilities. Um, I have lupus and fibromyalgia. I have batwing back and scoliosis. I'm nearsighted. I'm diabetic. I have carpal tunnel in both wrists. I have tendinitis in this wrist and this thumb. And then I have overactive bladder, bladder reflux disease. Um, it's a very, very, very severe IBS. Um, I have my hips and my knees, the cartilage is disintegrating. Um, and I think this is an autism thing, because I've noticed that other autistic people deal with this as well. And Sam himself has mentioned, when I mentioned it, he mentioned it also. Um, I can't walk on floors without wearing shoes or slippers, because it physically hurts my feet, like neuropathy. But I don't think it's neuropathy. I think it's just an autism sensory thing. But it literally feels like walking on the floor is without shoes, or slippers, feels like there is pain shooting up from my feet all the way up my legs. So I don't think it's neuropathy. I did think it was neuropathy until I heard that it's an issue with other autistics. So I think that's what it is just a autism sensory thing. Um, I do have my other sensory needs, but I'll get to those in as we go through the list. Um, but we'll get there, and I do eventually want to share with you guys, like, show you guys my sensory things, like fleece blankets and headphones and whatnot. Um but but yeah, so I've got my needs, but really I just want to live my life. That's all I want. In peace. And yeah, I know there's a lot in there about my family and wanting them to either treat me with respect and love, or just not be in my life. And they're not going to treat me with respect and love, so they need to just not be in my life. Um, so, unfortunately, and it really hurts me that I can't have them in my life, because I do love them. They are my family. I don't hold bitterness towards them. I don't hold hatred towards them. I do feel a lot of confusion about it, and a lot of hurt and a lot of pain, um, emotionally, because they're my family. I want them to love me. I love them. Um, but I don't feel any hate or bitterness about it. I just really just wish they would love me, and I know it's just not going to happen, because they just don't have that in them, unfortunately. They don't know how to love, unfortunately. And I mean, I've deluded myself for enough years and putting up with their abuse endlessly, just to try to have a relationship with them and try to find in them what I've discovered just doesn't exist. Um, and breaking myself, letting them break me over and over and over and over and over again, just to try to find in them what normal people have for their family. Just trying to buy or earn or teach love. But unfortunately, that's just not in the cards for me and my family. Um, you can't teach a narcissist to love. They will lie to you and tell you that they do love you. They will lie to you and try to tell you that they can change, that they want to change, that they're trying to change, that they're willing to change, but it's all a lie to try to manipulate you to come back so they can keep hurting you. Um, I hate to say it, but it's true. Um, and I've learned this over and over and over and over and over throughout the years. And as much as I didn't want to believe it and kept coming back because I didn't want to believe it, um, what my mom did to me the last time I spoke to her, um, or was trying to do to me, rather, tells me everything I need to know. Um, it was the confirmation I needed to fully finally convince myself that even though I know better, that it's all manipulation and lies, and they're never going to change, um, that my mother genuinely does not love me, has never loved me like she has told me in the past, and then tried to tell me she was just upset, or tried to tell me she never said it because they try to manipulate the situation so you're the bad guy or you're imagining things. And yeah, they do that. Um, like your memory can't be trusted even though you know what you heard. When your mother says something like that to you, um, it breaks you because your mother is supposed to love you. They're supposed to want you. They're supposed to care about you. So when your mother tells you she doesn't love you, she never loved you, she never wanted you, and she wished you were dead, and then slaps you and screams at you because you start crying, there's something wrong. And I mean, even if somebody says something like that out of frustration, like if they physically assault you or yell at you for reacting to it instead of going, I didn't mean it, I'm sorry, I love you, and start hugging you and kissing you and trying to comfort you, if somebody reacts angrily to your reaction to that, there is something wrong. Like, a family member doesn't treat you that way and then abuse you when you have a normal reaction to it. That wasn't my last interaction with her. That happened several years ago. Um, but it broke me. And then I found out that she actually meant it by her actions the last time I talked to her, what she was trying to do. She was trying to move me into a tiny shed, tiny, tiny shed that you can't even put a twin size bed in. There's not even room for a twin size bed, let alone um, have it be livable. That is so soaked through with rabbit scat, um, that you can't breathe in there. So she wanted me to move into that, sleeping on blankets on the floor, unable to breathe for the rest of my life permanently while she cashes my checks. That is not something that you would do to any human being, let alone somebody that is your child that you're supposed to love. That's not how a mother would treat her child. Nobody with any soul at all would treat a human being like that. That's just not normal or mentally stable. it's just not okay. And it clearly shows that she does not care about me at all. And between that and her admission that she wanted me dead, and the fact that she has spent many years repetitively poisoning me with my allergens, um, repetitively over years, trying to poison me with things she knows I'm allergic to. After her telling me she wants me dead, and now this, trying to move me into something that not even an animal should live in, that's not love. I'm pretty sure she was trying to kill me, actively trying to kill me, and make it look like an accident. I'm Between the things that she's said to me and the things she's tried to do to me over the years, and the ways she's almost poisoned me, or tried to poison me, or did poison me with my allergens over the years. And this is not the first time she's tried to um, be rid of me to take my check. This is like maybe the 10th time she's tried this. So, I mean, not specifically that method. She's tried multiple different methods to try to be rid of me to take my check. Um, and I don't really even make that much. But I mean, I am 100% convinced now, after everything she's done over the years, that she is trying to kill me, to be rid of me. And if she's not trying to kill me, when she's not trying to kill me, she's trying to find ways to be rid of me but keep my check. Um, Death won't let her keep my check because I'm on Social Security. If I die, it's gone. but but she wants my check, or she wants me gone from the earth. So either one or the other, whichever one happens first, that's what she wants. It's obvious that's what she wants. For me to either no longer exist, or to take my check and have me unable to do anything about it. Um, I mean, but yeah. So that's why all the things in my accommodations list about my family, because as much as I want a relationship with my family, I clearly just can't have one. It's not safe. um I mean, what can you do, right? But anyway, so I hope you guys like this video. If not, at least find some things in it useful. Um and I hope you guys like, share, and subscribe. And if no one has told you today, oh, and thanks for watching. And if nobody has told you today, you are loved, you are appreciated, you are needed, and you are enough. No matter what anybody tries to make you think or feel. I've been there, obviously, with my abusive family, and abusive exes and abusive ex-friends who weren't really friends. I've been there. That's why I only associate with Sam, my handyman, and my cats. So, but don't let anybody make you feel that way. Um, it's not true. You you are enough. You are needed. You are appreciated. You are loved. And God made you exactly the way you are for a reason. He wants you to be you. If the world doesn't want you to be you, then you don't need to be a part of that world. Make your own world. Make a world where, even if you can't find anybody else that accepts you for you, you accept you for you. Your pets accept you for you. Because you can't go wrong with pets. They may mentally judge you, but they'll never verbally judge you. Their love is unconditional. They don't care if you're weird. They might give you weird looks, but they don't care if you're weird. They love you anyway. And they love you exactly for who you are. So if you can't find people to appreciate you for who you are, make your own world. Make your own support system, your own family. I did. Um I've got oatmeal cream pie. I've got Avalana right here. I've got Merlin and Jago and Callie and Spell, and I've got Sam. So they're all I need, right? And if you're struggling, um, it's always darkest before the dawn. And you know, after every storm there is sunshine. I know the saying is after every storm there's a rainbow, but that's like asking for magic and miracles. We don't need magic and miracles. We make our own miracles. Right? Um, I mean, God, if He gives you a miracle, cool. Because God is great. He can do many things. But you know, we're not looking for miracles. We're looking for mental stability here, you know. Get ourselves through, because we can't expect God to do everything. Sometimes we got to do for ourselves. So just do your best to look for the good things in every day, and you know, at the end of every storm there is sunshine. You can get through it. If I can get through it with all the crap I've been through, with all the crap I deal with my neighbors when they're being assholes, they're actually not being bad today, and all the crap wrong with my house, and and all the crap I've been through, if I can get through it, then you can too. And just do your best. Just look for the good things, and it'll help you get through. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.